Hello dear student, in this video we will learn the subpoint of structure of the web service. We have seen in the last video structure of the web service as in a processing directive, then namespace and the public classes included in that web service. Now the fourth one, it is about the web methods, some methods, popular methods that are used when we are using the web services classes. These web service methods are used to store some information, then give some information about that particular classes methods. Then we can give the name of that message, enable the session, or we can disable the session. So these properties we can set with the help of some properties along with these web methods. Now which are these properties? One, it is a cache duration. Second, it's a description. Third, enable session. Then message name and the buffer response. Now first one, you can see here the web method with this cache duration. So cache duration, that when we are suppose you are created one web browser, one project, and with that you are having a button and you are clicking for the response. So next time again, suppose you want to refresh it again, you will re-click that particular button and it will retrieve the responses. So every time just you are fetching the data unnecessarily if the data is the same one. So best idea is that we can store that data with the help of this web service for some time. So what we can do, that we will set duration that for this 15 seconds, for 20 seconds this data will be held into the web browser, and after that duration again that data maybe get changed. So that's why we can re-click and we can get a new data. But meanwhile we can save that fetching time, the network traffic, and performance will be get increased. So for that we can use the concept as a cache duration. So it is storing a data temporarily, and we have to set the time. Now how we can set a time? Here example is given over here. Web method enable session is equal to true, and this focus on this part in this square, rectangle square. Cache duration is equal to 15. So 15 indicates the seconds, number of seconds it is holding a data. So it hold the data for the 15 seconds, that output data. Once the 15 seconds completed, then if you want to refresh it, then you have to click the button and you will get the new data, and then a request will be sent to the server and server will respond it. And if you are again clicking that particular button within this cache duration time, within the 15 seconds, then it will not send this request to the server. It will the message will be the same one. The browser will be just like a static for this 15 seconds. So it is giving the same response. That is the use of the cache duration. Now the next one that is about next property, description property. Now here in description property you can describe what exactly these methods are. For example, here you can see add name, get result, and sub. You can add a description into the each field as a web method. Enable session true, cache duration 15, and description. This method adds to string. This second one for description, this method is used to get all the operations, and third for description, this method can subtract two numeric values. Now we will see it's a practical part later. So just see the output. Add name. Now here you can see the difference that description has been added, so user can understand it better. So for usability you can add this information about what you are doing with this particular link, with these buttons or with the events. The next one, it is about the buffer response. So it takes a boolean value. Your XML web service can store maximum amount of data, but it will decrease the performance. So to increase the performance, you should set it as a false, and if you want to store a small amount of information, then you can set it to true. So buffer response, it is used to store your information. Normally it is storing so much information, then speed or the performance will get degraded. That's why we should set it to the false one. Otherwise, if you want to store a small amount of information, then set it to the true. That is about the buffer response. Then message name, you can give the name to that particular message also. So here example is given as a message name in this property as hello Amit. So here you can see the message name here has been added, hello and Amit. Now here even you can fetch that one into your web browser with this name given within this message name. That is about the message name. So message name, it will difference between the different messages, so you can identify which message you have set. Next property, it is about the enable session related to the session. Session, you know, that is, it is also used to hold the data at the server side. So this session property, whether you want to use it or not in your web service, can be decided with the help of the enable session. So if you set enable session is equal to true, then all the session properties can be used for your web service. Okay, so these are about some of the properties, some of the web methods that are popularly used in web service programming. So in next point we will see how to create a web service with these properties. I will show you that how exactly these can be used in your web service, and also the last point about how to consume the third-party web service into your application. So first of all, we will create one local web service, and this web service we will fetch into any another application, and we will use all these properties just we have learned in this theoretical part. So I think you understand about the web methods. So web method properties, cache duration, that it will set that particular data will be held into your browser for some amount of time. Now the time will be in seconds. So 20 cache duration is equal to 20 means that it will hold for the 20 seconds. Description means what? This will describe, it will describe this data, the information that you are performing, or the functions that you are performing. Then this enable session, whether you want to set it as an session, using session or not. So all the methods of the session you can use in your web service. If you set enable session is equal to true, then message name, that name of the message you can set, and that name of the message you can fetch to your web browser, and you can understand that message having what kind of name, and you can differentiate between the different messages if you are having the same message. And then buffer response, that XML web services are storing your data, and if you want that it should not store, then you should set it to the false, and if you just want to store a small amount of information, then set it as in a true. So these are the properties we will see, we will learn in the next practical. Only the practical part is remaining from this chapter, and we will cover these properties including in the practical of creating web service and consuming the web service in the API applications. Now we will stop here, and thank you.